off emotions. I ain't trying to say that's right, but how come little Timmy get to see his old man that night? Was it my fault, God? Was it something I did? Was it all in your plan to let this woman have kids? I mean, mama keep telling me believe on God, but I ain't never want to have to bow down to a white man. Stand up at this blue-eyed man, but he don't look like me, so how a father and him?
Shalom.
Let me know whenever we're back home. All right. You good?
Yes, sir. Shalom, shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. The new moon is upon us. Today's class, preparing for war. We at war. We at war with the enemy, and we at war with our own people. And to be at war with your own people, that's a crying shame. So look, Israel, let's go and stand up, face the east, send up these prayers.
Our Father, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts if we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Father, we want you to send up. Father, we want you to continue to watch over the leadership that's traveling throughout the countries and throughout your rightful states, Father, that's preaching the gospel through the four corners of the earth to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. We want you to continue to watch over the souls that's among us that's weak and lost, Father, to help them find their way. We want you to continue to heal those in the body that's sick amongst us, because there's vital to the body also, Father. In your name and your son's name, we pray, amen.
All right, y'all. Give me Exodus 15, verse 3. We at war. We are at war. We at war with our own people, and we at war with the enemy. Watch this. Read what you got.
The book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 3.
Preparing for war.
The Lord is a man of war.
So our Lord is a man of war. So in order for him to be a man of war, we got to be men of war. Right. We got to be fit for the battle. We got to prepare for war. We literally got to prepare for war. Watch this. Go to Judges 3, verse 1. Then we're going to go to Joel 3. Judges 3 and 1.
The book of Judges, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Read.
Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel.
He said, these are the nations that the Lord left to prove Israel. To prove Israel. Read.
Even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan.
It says those that didn't know all the wars of Canaan. Read.
Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach them war.
To teach them what?
Them war.
To teach them war. We got to be taught. We got to be taught on how to war. We think we be doing something, we be out there on world, start fighting each other. That ain't warring. The Most High got to really teach us how to war. Read.
At the least, such as before knew nothing thereof.
So look, go from there. Go from there to 2nd Edges, chapter 16. Watch this. Go to 2nd Edges 16 right fast. And start at verse 70. Start at verse 73.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, and verse 73.
Watch this.
Then shall they be known who are my chosen.
We know who the chosen is. Israel. Come on.
And they shall be tried.
We what?
They shall be tried.
And that's what's going on now. A lot of us being tried while we are at war. Trust me, you're going to be tried while you at war. We going to be tried. Rick?
As gold in the fire.
You know how gold in the fire get tried. You know how gold got to get purified, get all them what they call it, impurities and all of the different things up out of that gold to make it pure. So we gonna be tried a lot. But guess what? As we being tried, we still gotta be ready for war at all times. Read.
Verse 74. Hear, O ye, my beloved, saith the Lord.
Watch this.
Behold, the days of trouble are at hand.
Do you hear that? The days are trouble at hand. We know we at war. We at war against our own brethren, and we at war against the enemy. These are the days of trouble. Ezra was letting us know these are the days of trouble. Read.
But I will deliver you from the same.
But if you continue to fight, continue to keep the commandments and the faith in Christ, guess what? You're going to be delivered. Read.
Be ye not afraid.
See, that's one thing we can't have when we out there at war. We can't have no brothers that's fearful out there, that's faint-hearted. We can't have no weak brothers out there that's scared. Read.
Neither doubt.
Neither doubt. You can't have no doubt in your mind when you're going out there to war. You doubt. Read.
For God is your God.
That's who our God is. Whenever we going out to war, no matter what we doing, guess who guiding us? The Most High God. That's who gonna guide us through war. That's who guided us through all our wars, and we did what? We defended our enemy. But it was one thing we always did. We was keeping the commandments. We was keeping the commandments. And once we broke the commandments, the Most High let the enemy put their foot on our neck. And guess where the enemy foot is? It's still on our neck. It says God is our guide. That's who gonna guide us through war. That's who fights for us. So watch this. Let's go to Judges 3, Joel 3 and 9. The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Watch this. Joel 3, verse 9.
The book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9.
Watch this.
Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Come on.
Prepare war.
Do what?
Prepare war.
We got to prepare for war. What do we need when we preparing for war in these days and times? This is our most powerful weapon. So you can't never leave home without this. This is your most powerful weapon. This is your two-edged sword. This is your sword in your shield. All right. The Bible is your sword and your shield. It says prepare war. Yes, we are at war. We are at war with the enemy, and we are at war with our own wicked brethren and sisters. Read.
Wake up the mighty men.
Wake up to who?
The mighty men.
It's mighty men waking up. It's mighty men going out there to war every Sabbath day. It's mighty men out there in Sierra Leone right now preaching the word of God. Mighty men. David had mighty men. And these men weren't fearful. They weren't scared, and they never doubted. Come on.
Let all the men of war draw near.
Let all the what?
The men of war.
The men of war. The men of war. You got to be fit for the battle. You got to be ready for war. You can't be out there scared. Give me that in 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. Because this one thing we can't have when we preparing for war. We going to get this. Watch this. Matter of fact, go to Judges. We going to go and break it down in Judges. Judges 7. Judges 7. Start at verse 1.
The book of Judges.
Watch this.
7 and verse 1.
Preparing for war. Read.
Then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him, rose up early and pitched beside the well of Harod, so that the host of the Midianites were on the north side.
So this is when the Midianites finna try to go to war against Israel. Read.
Of them by the hill of Moreh in the valley. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands.
You see that the Most High never was about big numbers. So he letting Gideon know right now, off top, look, you got a lot of people, but it's a lot, but it's too many for me to get the Midianites into your hand. What is the Most High finna tell Gideon? Watch this, read.
Lest Israel vaunt themselves.
Lest Israel do what?
Vaunt themselves.
And say what?
Against me. Saying, mine own hand hath saved me.
That's why he never wanted it. That's why he never dealt with a large amount of numbers when we went out to war. Because he never wanted the children of Israel to vaunt themselves and be like, yeah, we defeated our enemy. No, the Most High always defeats our enemies first. His spirit works through us. His spirit works through us. Just like his spirit was working through King David to kill 10,000 at a time. So watch this, read.
Now therefore, go to proclaim in the ears of the people.
He said, now go proclaim in the ears of the people. Go talk to the people and read.
Whosoever is fearful and afraid. Whosoever is fearful and afraid.
Do you brothers hear that? You brothers online that's fearful and afraid, don't be scared to let us know you fearful and afraid. Because if you don't, you will get us jacked up at camp. You will get a brother stole on. Brother get fired on right there. Why? Because you were fearful and afraid. Give me that in 2 Timothy 1 verse 7.
The book of 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7.
Watch this.
For God hath not given us the spirit of fear.
Do you hear that? The Most High did not give us the spirit of fear, but what?
But of power.
But of power.
Of love. And of a sound mind.
He says, but of power. The Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear. We the greatest nation on the planet Earth. You shouldn't fear these heathens, and you shouldn't fear your own wicked brethren. Trust in the Most High, he gonna deliver you. Keep the commandments in the faith in Christ. We are at war, and we gotta prepare for war. Read.
Go back to
Judges.
Judges chapter 7 and verse 3.
Watch this.
Now therefore go to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead.
So look, he said, let them return. Watch this. Look how many return. Read.
And there returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? It says there returned 22,000. That's how many people was afraid. That's how many brothers were fearful and scared to go to war. 22,000. We got brothers like that now. We got brothers like that now. Fearful and afraid. And it don't make sense. We got the greatest knowledge on, we got the greatest knowledge on the planet Earth. They're gonna show us what we need to do when we go out there to war. We got the greatest weapon when we go out there to go to war. And we got our shield when we go out there to go to war. And our helmet of salvation. And guess what else we got when we go out there to war? Go to Psalms 34. We're gonna come back to Judges. Go to Psalms 34. Show y'all what else we got out there when we going out there to war. I think it's 34 and 7.
The book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 7.
Watch this.
The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
That's how we walk away without being touched, without any problems. Because the angels are camped around about us. Why? Because we fear the Lord. So let's go back to Judges 7.
The book of Judges, chapter 7 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many.
He said, the people are too many. Read.
Bring them down into the water, and I will try them for thee there.
He said, and I will try them for thee there.
And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee. The same shall go with thee. And of whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee. The same shall not go.
So he finna give Gideon instructions. He giving Gideon the instructions to give to the people. Let's see who all follow the instructions in order. Read.
So he brought down the people into the water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, everyone that lappeth of the water with his tongue as a dog lappeth, him thou shalt set by himself. Likewise, everyone that boweth down upon his knees to drink.
It says, likewise, everyone that bowed down upon his knees to drink, because when the dogs lap for water, the dog is still on what? The dog is still on alert. When a dog is drinking water, he's what? He's looking up and he's still on alert. But when you got your hands on your, when you bow down with your knees to drink, guess what? You can't see. You can't see. So watch this, read.
Verse 6, and the number of them that lapped, putting their hand in their mouth, were 300 men. 300
men out of 10,000. So 9,700 men did not follow order or instructions.
But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water.
Bowed down upon their knees to drink water. Got down on their knees and their hands. Can't see nothing. So 9,700 men did not follow order and instructions. Why? Because Israel always hated instructions. Watch this. Give me Proverbs 5 and 12. This one thing this one spirit you cannot roll in while we going out the camp. Read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 5 and verse 12.
Read.
And say, how have I hated instruction?
That's one thing about Israel. We always hate instruction. We hate instruction. We hate order. We see it all day on social media. And no matter how many orders we put out, from leadership to the deacons to captains to officers, 90s and 80s, it don't matter who put the order out. You will not follow it. Why? Because you hate instructions. You hate order. And that's why we're in captivity. That's why we got to fight against our own brethren and the enemy. Why? Because Israel don't like to follow order and instructions. They didn't follow the order and instructions from Moses. Look what happened. Deuteronomy 28. And we still living it to this very day. Read.
And my heart despised reproof.
You heard that? Because a lot of you brothers hate correction. A lot of you brothers hate correction. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, because a lot of you brothers that's in the truth was in Esau's military. You was either in the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, or the Marines, and you took the hell out of orders from your slave master. But when you come into this truth in God's army, you don't like to follow. You don't like to take correction. You ain't ready for war. If you can't take correction, you are not ready for war. Stay at home. Read.
Verse 13, and have not obeyed the voice of my teacher.
And if you can't obey the voice of your teacher that the Most High has set up, guess what? You don't need to go to war neither. You don't need to go to war neither. We say something to you, brother, that be, shh. We see it on you. We see it on your face because your countenance changed. I see it on brothers' faces all the time. When I say something, brother, whole countenance change. And they don't even think I see it. Brothers don't even be thinking I see it. Your countenance is letting you know in the book of Sirach, a man's countenance is going to change as the moon. Why? Because you hate instructions, or deep down inside, you hate your leaders. And it's only a matter of time before you turn reprobate. It's gonna manifest.
Either that or you going to disrespect your leaders that you really don't like. You going to disrespect them like hell. And where do Israel go disrespect? Social media. Social media. Why? Because you hate instructions. All because you don't want to obey the voice of your teachers who the Most High has set up. See, the problem is you got a thought in your mind that we still none but niggas that just learn scriptures. You don't see us as men of God. You don't see us as warriors of God. Watch this, read.
Nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me.
Nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me, nor listen to them that instructed me. Give a brother order, brother, play like down here. Why? Because you don't like the leadership that's over you? Like I tell brothers all the time, you ain't got to like me, but one thing about it, you going to respect me. For real. Because watch this. Go from there, because order got to be set up. Go from there to Titus 1. Order got to be set up to keep Israel in order. Go to Titus 1, then we're going to go to Deuteronomy 1. Yeah.
The book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 5.
Read.
For this cause left I thee in Crete.
To do what?
That thou shouldest set in order.
To set in order. That's what we doing. We set men in order. Men are being set in order. Read.
The things that are wanting, and ordain elders in every city.
We got leadership in every city. This have been ordained by the Most High God, not by man. Not by man, by the Most High God. And we have order set up. We have rank set up according to how we had rank set up where in the Bible. Give me that in Deuteronomy. That's why you see the different ranks, because we setting up rank how it was set up in the Bible. That's showing you we was men of war. We always been men of war.
Chapter 1.
Yeah.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 15. So I took the chief of your tribe, wise men,
and what else?
And known, and made them heads over you.
You heard that? It says, so I took the chief of your tribes, wise men, and known, and known, and known. Do y'all hear that? Wise men and known, and made them heads over you. Why? Because we got to be, because Israel got to be looked over. They got to have watchmen over them. Why? Because of Isaiah 1 and 5, the whole head is sick. If we ain't got nobody, if we have no watchmen watching over us, Israel will be doing what the hell they want to do with fringes on. If we ain't have watchmen, brothers would be all in the club on Friday with their fringes on, pop, locking, and dropping it. For real. So watch this. This is why order was set up, and this is why rank is set up, to keep the order, to keep men in order. Read.
Captains over thousands.
Do you hear that? We got captains over thousands. Read.
And captains over hundreds.
We got captains over hundreds. We got captains of 700, 600, 500, 400, and on down. Read.
And captains over 50s.
We got captains of 80s, 90s, and 50s. Read.
And captains over 10s.
We got officers of 10s. We got officers of 10s, 20s, read.
And officers among your tribe.
And we have soldiers. That's the ranking system. That's the ranking order. And where did we get it from? The Holy Bible. The Holy Bible. And with this ranking system, with this ranking order, guess what? Guess what it's going to do? It's going to keep Israel in line. It's going to keep everything in decently and in order. Give me that in 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. Because when we were going out there to go to war and when we prepare for war, everything got to be done decently and in order. Read what you got.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40.
Read.
Let all things be done decently and in order.
Let all things that we do, preparing for war, let all things be done decently and in order. And in order. Because it's all about order when you're going out there to go to war. It's all about executing. It's all about executing whatever the leaders acts of. You execute that. Whatever command that's given to you, you execute that.
We going out there to go to war. We ain't got no swords and shields. We ain't got that. We got our Bibles. Some brothers might have to hold camp. Some brothers don't even like to, don't you know, some brothers don't even like to hold post. Brothers don't even like to hold post. That's why a lot of brothers, the first thing that they do, they ask to go on fly missions. So the first brothers that always ask me to go on fly missions, guess what I do? I put them on post. I put them on post. Brothers don't understand this is one of the most important jobs, holding post, protecting the reader and the teacher. This is one of the most important jobs. Another important job when you're holding post is protecting the cameraman. All of these things, it's about order and structure. And we must have these things in order once we go out there to war. We must have everything intact, everything done in decently in order. All the camp signs, all the flyers, the speakers, the microphone, making sure battery is charged up. Go out there to go to war, turn the mic on, 15 minutes going strong, then go dead. We got to be prepared for war. Everything got to be done indecently and in order. We got to have everything in order. Camp signs, flyers, microphone, speaker with the mics. And brothers got to be in brothers' uniform got to be in order. There's everything done decently in order. That goes for your uniform too. Yes, you must have boot bands, your boots must be shined, and your clothes must be earned. Because guess what you did in Esau's military? You made sure you was creased. You had that crease in them slacks. You had that crease in that little thin shirt that they be wearing. They be tight as hell on your arm right here. That make brothers try to make them look more buffer. But then you got a crease that pop out. But in the arm of God, what you do, I'm going to tell you what brothers do. You throw it in the dryer and you put it on high heat. Thinking the high heat going to knock your wrinkles out. Some brothers might have another brother hold his shirt and he iron it over with his hand. You should have just got the iron. I'm finna knock the wrinkles out a little bit. But that's how you feel about your uniform. But took pride in Esau's army with their uniform. But for the Most High, you don't have your boot shine. Some brothers ain't had they boot shine since they been with us. Since they been in IUIC. Brothers have not had their boot shine. Why? Because they really don't care. You really don't care about order. Since you don't like earning your clothes, guess what? You really don't like order. And guess what? Brothers that ain't got their clothes earned, ain't got their boot bands, if brother ain't in full order going to war, guess what? You ain't gonna go. You ain't gonna go. If you can't follow instructions, you ain't gonna go. If we always have a problem with if you always got a problem with us saying something to you, and you always changing your countenance, doing this, doing that, guess what? You ain't fit for the battle. You ain't fit for the battle. Give me that second edge. I think it's 7. They started 57.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle.
This is the condition of the battle, read.
Which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
It says, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Guess what? We go out there to fight every Sabbath against the spiritual wickedness of this world. And against against all the false religions and doctrines that's been pushed throughout our people's neighborhood. We go to their neighborhood to tear it down. That's what we do. So this is the condition of the battle that you don't understand. You gonna have to fight. This is a fight. We are at war. And Satan ain't playing no games. I tell brothers all the time, I've been telling the brothers in August, I don't know if they remember, but I've been telling brothers, Satan finna wake up his true disciples. his true disciples. And guess what? A lot of us gonna get stuck. A lot of us gonna get hit. Some of us gonna be persecuted. It happens. We at war. But guess what? It ain't gonna hit Israel until it happen in front of their very eyes. That's when it's gonna hit Israel. That's when they gonna know we at war. When a brother come through, they piss the hell out, come through, drive out. Oh. 3-4 of your leaders gone. This what we've been preparing you young brothers for. Men of valor, camp 101. Just in case anything happen to one of us, you can be the next in line to be ready for war. For real. Go from there. Go back to Judges 7. Did we finish it up?
Yeah, pretty much.
And go to Joel 2 and 7, because we was talking about rank and order. One thing about it, you brothers breaking, you ain't gonna break rank when Christ return, and we ain't gonna let you break rank now. Watch this. Read that for me.
Joel what?
2 and 7.
2 and 7. The book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 7. They shall run like mighty men.
It says they shall run like mighty men. Did he say in Joel 3, go wake up the mighty men? Read.
They shall climb the wall.
Do you hear that? It says they shall climb the wall. Read.
Like men of war.
Like men of who?
Like men of war.
We always been men of war.
And they shall march every one on his ways.
They shall march every one on his ways, but they brothers don't understand. Brothers in other camps had a problem when we did the Memphis milestone, but didn't understand the message behind it. Shall march and do what?
And they shall not break their rank.
And once you see that Memphis milestone, no brother broke their rank. Every brother stayed in order. Every brother stayed. It says, read it from the top again.
The book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 7.
Come on.
They shall run like mighty men.
It says they gonna run like mighty men. Come on.
They shall climb the wall like men of war.
It says we gonna climb the wall like men of war. Come on.
And they shall march every one on his way.
They shall what?
They shall march.
They shall what?
They shall march.
Read.
Every one on his way.
Hey, brothers don't understand what was behind the Memphis milestone.
And they shall not break their rank.
They shall not do what?
Break their rank.
Do you hear that? Brothers ain't gonna break their ranks just like now. We have order set up so strong where brothers know not to break rank. So if you break rank, that means you did it on purpose. You did it on purpose. You hate instructions and you hate order. That's all it is too. Remember, he said it's not by might. He said he ain't give us the spirit of fear, but of power. People just don't understand. So watch this. Brothers gotta, like I said, brothers gotta be in order. So brothers can't be having, watch this. Because like we say all the time, brothers gotta be in the right spirit before they go out to camp. So give me that in Psalms 90 verse 8. Psalms 90 verse 8. Psalms chapter 90 verse 8.
It's XC, ain't it?
Yeah, XC. 98.
The book of Psalms, chapter 90 and verse 8. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord.
Psalms 90 and 8.
Oh, okay. Psalms chapter 90 and verse 8.
Yeah.
Thou hast set our iniquities before thee.
It says thou hast set our iniquities before thee. Read.
Our secret sin.
Now what?
Secret sin. In the light of thy countenance.
Do you hear that? Them secret sins. That's what's going to get us jacked up. Brother out there in secret sin. Get us jacked the hell up. And guess who Satan going to come to? That brother that's in that sin. Go from there to Proverbs 28 and 13. Proverbs 28 and 13. Your spirit got to be right.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 13.
Come on.
He that covereth his sin.
He that covered his sin, read.
Shall not prosper.
You ain't gonna prosper.
But whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy.
So guess what? Brothers ain't gotta do nothing but forsake, confess them, forsake them, and you gonna have mercy. But brothers be in secret sin. So that's another way we get jacked up. Brothers gotta be in the spirit. So give me that in Galatians 5. You gotta be walking in the spirit. Give me Galatians 5. So when you at camp, guess what? You always gotta be in the spirit. You can't be in the spirit of being a brawler or nothing like that. You got to stand. That's why we always tell brothers, stay in the spirit. Some brothers be looking at they own people so hard. We be like, bruh, why you looking so hard? Cap used to have to tell me that all the time. Yeah, the scriptures say make thy face strong against their faces, but damn, brother face disfigured. Read what you got.
The book of Galatians chapter 5 and verse 22. 16. Verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit.
That's what you got to be in. You got to be walking in the spirit when we out there. Well, you have to be in the spirit and not what?
And ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
And you won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. Hatred, malice, wrath, envy, covetousness. All these things that play a role when you out there at camp. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. The lust of your flesh, you love 24-inch rims. Next thing you know, a brother come by in a smooth cutlass, 24s on the 24s. Next thing you do, you turn to your head. Next thing you know, your brother getting stolen on. Why? Because you ain't in the spirit. All of these different things gonna play a part. We have to be in the spirit when we go out there to war. We always and watch this. Go from there. Cause we out there at war. We all, like I said, we all got to be in the same mind and in the same spirit. We got to be in the same mind and in the same spirit. Give me that. You got to be in the same mind and in the same spirit.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1 and verse 10.
Watch this.
Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that ye all speak the same thing.
That we all speak the same thing. Read.
And that there be no divisions among you.
See, you heard that? The Bible letting us know that there shouldn't be no divisions among us. Come on.
But that ye be perfectly joined together.
Perfectly joined together. Come on.
In the same mind.
In the same mind.
And in the same judgment.
And when we in the same mind and in the same spirit, go to Judges 20 verse 11.
The book of Judges, chapter 20 and verse 11.
Come on.
So all the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man.
Why would we knit together as one man? Because we had the same mind and we was in the same spirit. That's why. And that's another thing. Go to 1 Corinthians 12 verse 25. This is another thing you got to do. We got to be in the same mind and in the same spirit. So watch this. Go to 1 Corinthians.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 25.
Read.
That there should be no schism in the body.
Do you hear that? That there should be no schisms. No schisms, brethren. No schisms. That's one thing about Israel. We have to go to these different schools, visit these different schools. Why? Because it be little schisms. It be division amongst brethren. And it's a crying shame when I say the most difficult scripture that Israel gonna have to that Israel is not gonna apply. And it's not a difficult scripture. One of the most, not say easiest scriptures, but one of the scriptures that Israel gonna always have a problem with is Matthew 18. And to the day Christ return, Israel gonna always have a problem with Matthew 18. Because a lot of you men that say you men, you ain't men deep down inside. You just a man with your outward appearance. But deep down inside, you ain't no real man. Deep down inside, you ain't no real man. That's why you would never go to your brother and tell him the odds and the problem that you got with him, because you don't want to fix the situation. And if you don't fix the situation before Christ's return, death is coming to you. Believe it or not, yes. You can play like, and the brothers can play like they handle the situation. All of that, look, if you did not handle the situation the proper way with Matthew 18, it's death to you. Point blank, period. So Matthew 18 going to be one of the hardest scriptures for us to apply. We go to these different schools, there's always schisms and division among brethren. And it be petty. And brothers be having arms with brother, and it be so petty. And the only thing brother got to do is Matthews 18, they brother. But what they'll do, they'll cause division and have schisms in the body. Have these brothers with him, have the other brothers with him. What the hell is going on here? Why is there division? Why is there schisms in the body? Because brothers don't like order and instructions. And some brothers don't like their leadership. Why? Because of preeminence. Brothers be wanting that king seat, but don't want the job that come with having the king seat. Brother don't want to do the job, but he want the title. And then what brothers do, you will start to ask different brothers in the body, how do you feel about him being our leader? Now I'm just asking, you know, I'm just trying to see how you feel about him, you know. You ain't ready for war. You ain't ready for war. If you a brother that cause schisms and division in the body, you are not ready for war. You are not ready for war. And we know you'll be that brother that's out of war, won't even protect your brother. Because that spirit of hatred will come upon you. Satan had that spirit of hatred coming upon you. Won't even protect his brother when he out there at war. Let him get styled. Deep down inside, he's saying, yes, the nigga gone. I got his spot. Crying shame. Why? Because watch this. Keep reading.
But that the members should have the same care one for another.
That we should have the what?
Same care one for another.
We should have the same care one for another. You got to care for one another and love one another in order to protect your brother, to lay down your life for your brethren. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. We going after to go to war. That's what we doing. You got to have the same mind. Give me that in 1 John 3. I think it's 15 or 16. 1 John 3. I think it's 16 or 17. It's 16 or 17. Let me see. What is 16 or 17?
16.
Read it for me.
The book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 16. Hereby perceive we the love of God.
This is how you can perceive the love of God right here. It says hereby perceive we the love of God. This is how you going to perceive the love of God. Read.
Because he laid down his life for us.
He laid down his life for us, so we what?
And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
That's what we do when we go after the war every Sabbath. That's what the leadership is doing right now. Laying their life down on the line, traveling to Sierra Leone. What is
Leone, Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. Y'all know I can't talk good. Hey, it don't matter to me. Right. But this, the word gonna go out. Y'all know what I mean. Sierra Leone. They putting their life down on the line right now. Look how a lot of brothers and sisters were scared when the bishops got detained in Cuba. They laying their life down on the line. Look how long the bishops and the deacons been laying their life down on the line. For who? For the nation of Israel. And then been through much. And you be thinking you be going through something in this truth. You ain't went through nothing. Half you don't even know we're at war. Brothers don't be understanding how important it is for them to know every single day that we're at war. Because any given day, somebody can. Do y'all not know how known we are? Any given day, Satan can send one of his demons that be pissed the hell off at us. Yeah, you them niggas that's always in front of K Hall, ain't it?
Right.
It says we gonna be persecuted. We at war. Don't never forget it. Brothers be on social. See, the problem is, brothers be on social media so long, you forget we at war. That's how long you be on social media. You forget we be at war. You forgetting we at war. Brothers, stay on social media. That's why I be like, Brothers, stay on social media. That's why you don't know we're at war. That's why it's schisms in the body. And that's why it's division among the brethren. You spend more time on social media than you do around the brothers that's laying down their life on the line for you. Read it from the top again.
The book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 16.
Watch this.
Hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us. And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
Do you hear that? It says we ought to lay down our life for the brethren. That's what we doing. We laying down our life for the brethren. For our mothers, for our daughters, for our sisters. That's who we doing it for. Because it's going to come a day when your husband don't come home. It's going to be a day when your son don't come home. We at war, Israel. Y'all better, hey, people better, man, we better understand that we are at war. And at any given time, any one of us can get put to death. Tell you, serious out here. Watch this. That's why we got different things set up. Watch this. I want to go to Joshua. Go to Joshua. Because we got the men of Valor set up. We're going to go to Joshua 10 and 12, then we're going to jump back to Joshua 6 and 1. And read about Jericho, about the instructions and order that Joshua gave. Now we want to judge 10 and 12 first. Let me see. Yeah, I mean Joshua 10 and 12, my bad. Hold up. Let me see. Make sure this right. Start yeah, started
He and all the people of war with him. Verse 7. Was it the men of valor?
Yeah, that one, verse 7.
The book of Joshua, chapter 10 and verse 7.
Watch this.
So Joshua ascended from Gilgal. He and all the people of war with him.
All the who?
People of war.
So these was brothers that weren't afraid, weren't fearful, follow order and instructions. Read.
And all the mighty men of valor.
All the what?
Mighty men of valor.
And that's why we got the program set up. That's why we got the program set up. To make you mighty men of valor. That's why we got the program set up. To continue with the brotherly love. So if you got problem with a brother, guess what? When we have the men of valor, you can properly use Matthew 18. We show a lot of different things through the Men of Valor programs. Working out, exercising you physically and spiritually. Why? For you can be fit for the battle. But if you don't come to the Men of Valor programs, you don't come to Camp 101, how you gonna know the order? How you gonna know the instructions? Some brothers we ain't seen not one day. How you gonna be ready for war? Gonna be that brother run out there with no shield, no none. But he gonna run out there and say he in the spirit of Christ? Yeah. Read.
And the Lord said unto Joshua, fear them not.
Do what?
Fear them not.
He always told Joshua, don't fear them. Don't be scared. Why? Because he ain't give us the spirit of fear, but of power. Read.
For I have delivered them into thine hand. Therefore shall not a man of them stand before thee.
Do you hear that? When we keeping the commandments and the faith in Christ, ain't no nation gonna be able to stand in front of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. We the Lord's battle axe. He using us. Give me that.
Jeremiah.
Give me that in Jeremiah. Then go to Nehemiah 9 and 30. He using us. And then we're going to go back to Joshua. Show you how he using us.
Jeremiah
50 what?
51.
51:20.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 20.
Watch this.
Thou art my battle axe.
He says, thou art my battle axe. We, the Lord's battle axe. Read.
And weapons of war.
And what?
And weapons of war.
Oh, read it from the top again.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 20. Thou art my battle axe.
Start at 19. Just start at 19.
Verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name.
Read.
Thou art my battle axe.
It says, thou art my battle axe.
And weapons of war.
And weapons of war. We are his battle axe and his weapons of war on earth. That's going to bring down this kingdom. And how we going to bring it down with the word of God. Not carnally. We know we ain't going to be able to defeat this white man with weapons. We know the greatest weapon that's going to bring this earth, to bring this kingdom down is the word of God.
All right.
Read.
For with thee
come on,
will I break in pieces the nations.
Do you hear that? He says, by thee will I break in pieces the nations. Read.
And with thee will I destroy.
Do you hear that? With thee, he using us to destroy this kingdom. Just like he used the prophets back then to destroy the kingdoms where there was held captives, he gonna use us to destroy this kingdom. And how we gonna destroy it? With the word of God. Give me that in 2 Corinthians 10, right fast. Go to Nehemiah 9 and 30, then go to 2 Corinthians.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 9 and verse 30.
Watch this.
Yet many years didst thou forbear them, and testifiedest against them by the Spirit in the prophets.
By the Spirit that he put in the prophets. By the Spirit that he put in the prophets. That's going to be his battle axe, his weapons of war, that he going to use to break in pieces the nations and to destroy kingdoms.
Yet would they not give ear. Therefore gavest thou them into the hand of the people of the land.
You see that? Whenever we didn't listen, though, he gave us over into the hands of the people of the land. We getting chastised right now. We getting tried to see whether we are worthy of the real war. Read that for me.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 4.
Then we're going to go back to Joshua 6.
For the weapons of our warfare.
The weapons of our warfare. The weapons of our warfare, read.
Are not carnal.
Are not what?
Are not carnal.
Are not carnal. We ain't using Tech 9s, machetes. We ain't using grenade launchers. What we using? The most powerful weapon on the planet Earth. Only thing you got to do is watch the book of Eli. The whole earth was at uproar and at war over one book. And it was the King James Version Bible. The dude said, with this book, you can control the world. Do you hear that? He said, with this book, you can control the world. And what you think Esau did? Watch this, read.
But mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
The mighty through God to pulling down the strongholds. The things that we do is through the Spirit that the Most High is putting upon us. That's how we getting the job done. That's how these different things pop in our head, the different classes come to us. It ain't of us, it's of God. Read.
Casting down imagination.
And we got to cast down those imaginations that's in our people's heads, that's been in our people's heads for so many years, so many centuries. We got to cast them imaginations down. Read.
And every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God.
And everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. Guess who exalted itself against the knowledge of God? Esau. Watch this. Give me that in 2 Thessalonians. Hold it. Let's get it right fast. 2 and 4.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called
you
God.
See that? Who did that? Read.
Or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Who did the Esau? So we going out there to turn everything down that exalted itself above the knowledge of God. Read.
2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 5. casting down imagination and every high thing that exalted itself above against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
So now go to Jeremiah 1 right fast. That's what he told the prophet Jeremiah. Jeremiah 1, verse 10.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 1 and verse 10. See, I have set this day, set thee over the nations.
Do you see that? He said, see, this day I have set thee over the nations. Read.
And over the kingdom. To root out.
To root out.
And to pull down.
And to pull down.
And to destroy.
And to destroy. And what else?
And to throw down.
All casting down all imaginations. Read.
To build and to plant.
To build and to plant. That's our job when we go after the war. That's our job when we go after the war. And what we watch this. Go to Ephesians right fast 6. I know we got to go to Joshua. But let's finish this 2 Corinthians 10 up right fast. We finished it up? Yeah, we finished it up. Let's go to Ephesians 6 right fast. 6 and 10, yeah.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 10.
Come on.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord.
It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. Come on.
And in the power of his might.
In the power of his might. Read.
Put on the whole armor of God.
It says, put on the whole armor of God. Read.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
It says that we may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Come on.
But against principalities.
But against principalities. Read.
Against powers. Against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Against spiritual wickedness.
It says against spiritual wickedness. Come on.
In high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God.
The whole armor of God. Read.
That ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all, to stand.
Read.
Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth.
That's what you must have your loins girded about. With truth. When we out there at war, guess what your loins need to be girded with? With truth. Read.
And having on the breastplate of righteousness. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
Watch this.
Above all, taking the shield of faith. Wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
So we are at war, and we use the Bible, which is our weapon. Go to Hebrews 4 right fast. 4 and 12 to show them that this is our weapon. This is the most powerful weapon on the planet Earth. Yes, it's more powerful than an atomic bomb, than those missiles that Esau has. Yes, this Bible is way more powerful than any bomb.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 4 and verse 12. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword.
You see that? It's sharper than any two-edged sword. This sharper than any two-edged sword. Read.
Piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the loins and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
You see that? Powerful. Sharper than any two-edged sword. So let's go back to Joshua 6. Start at verse 1.
The book of Joshua, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Watch this.
Now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in.
It says none went out and none came in. Read.
And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor.
It says, and the mighty men of valor. Read.
And ye shall compass the city, and all ye men of war.
You heard that? He says, you shall compass the city, and all ye men of war. He's going to give Joshua what? Instructions in order. Read.
And go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days.
He let them know you shall do this. How many? 6 days. Read.
And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horn.
That's why brothers need to get them a ram's horn. How you going to be ready for war? You ain't got your ram's horn. It said we must blow up the trumpet. We going to get it. We going to get it. Read.
In the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times.
It says the 7th day, though, ye shall compass the city 7 times. Come on.
And the priest shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout. And the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend, every man straight before him.
Watch this, Rick.
And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7.
Now he giving them the order. Now he giving them the instruction that he just got. He giving them the order. Read.
Of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord. And he said unto them, and he said unto the people,
watch this,
pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the Lord. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken unto the people, that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns passed on before the Lord, and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them.
Watch this.
And the armed men went before the priests that went with the
that blew the trumpets,
that blew the trumpets with the trumpets, and the reward came after the ark, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpet.
Watch this.
And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, ye shall not shout.
He giving them an order, you shall not shout,
nor make any noise with your voice.
Make any noise with your voice. Read.
Neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth.
Neither let any word proceed out of your mouth. Read.
Until the day I bid you shout, then shalt thou shout.
He said, but the day that I bid you shout, then ye shall shout. Let us put an order out like that. Let us put an order out on Telegram. Don't talk until we get all brothers replying to a message. What's the first thing brothers do? Shalom, brothers, most high in Christ bless. Oh, I ain't see it. Shalom, most high in Christ bless. Shalom, most high in Christ bless. It's simple orders. I'm telling you now, it's simple orders. Simple orders. But brothers make it hard. Brothers make it hard. Watch this, read.
Verse 11. So the ark of the Lord compassed the city, going about it once. And they came into the camp and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose up early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord. And 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually, and blew with the trumpets, and the armed men went before them. But the reward came after the ark of the Lord, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets.
Watch this.
And the second day they compassed the city once, and returned into the camp. So they did 6 days.
You gotta imagine, they marching around the city. Around the city, compassing the city. They ain't hearing no voices. They only hearing the ram's horns.
That's some discipline right there.
And all on what? One accord. Left, right. Left, right. The soldiers of God never get tired. You see that? He didn't say not one man got tired. The soldiers of God never get tired. Watch this, read.
Verse 15. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day, and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times.
Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. They followed the order. They executed the order. Read.
And it came to pass at the 7th time, when the priests blew with the trumpets, Joshua saith unto the people, shout, for the Lord hath given you the city.
Do you hear that? He said, shout, the Lord hath given you the city. Who? The Lord. The Lord. Who fight for us? The Lord. Read.
And the city shall be accursed, even it, and all that are therein to the Lord. Only Rahab the harlot shall live.
Why? Because she helped them. She helped them out, and he promised her, "Look, we gonna let you live." And whoever else was in her house, read.
And all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent.
So the Most High put the Spirit on the other nations to help us out. He'll put the Spirit on them. Read.
And you, in any wise, keep yourselves from the accursed thing.
He says, in you, in any wise, keep yourself from the accursed thing. Now, let's see who broke rank in order. Well, let's see who didn't follow instructions in order. Read.
Lest ye make yourselves accursed. When ye take on the accursed thing.
When you take on the accursed thing, then what?
And make the camp of Israel accursed.
And make the camp of Israel, not just you, but the camp.
Damn.
I don't believe in camps. I don't believe in no camp. The who?
The camp of Israel.
The camp of Israel. Read.
A curse and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto the Lord. They shall come into the treasure of the Lord.
So he said the silver, the gold, and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto the Lord. Read.
So the people shouted when the priest blew with the trumpet. And it came to pass when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat. So that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city.
It says they took the city and did what?
And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city.
What's this?
Both man and woman, young and old, and ox, and sheep and ass.
With what?
With the edge of the sword.
Man, we weren't no joke. We didn't play games. We were mighty men of valor. Come on.
But Joshua had said unto the two men that had spied out the country, go into the harlot's house, and bring out thence the woman and all that she hath, as ye swear unto her. And the young men that were spies went in and brought out Rahab and her father, and her mother, and her brethren, and all that she had. And they brought out all her kindred, and left them without the camp of Israel. And they burnt the city with fire, and all that was therein. Only the silver and gold, and the vessels of brass and of iron, they put into the treasury of the house of the Lord.
You see what we put in the house of the Lord, right? Read.
And Joshua saved Rahab, the harlot, alive, in her father's household, and all that she had. And she dwelleth in Israel even unto this day, because she hid the messengers which Joshua sent to spy out Jericho.
And that don't mean no heathen can be saved. Read.
And Joshua advised that them at that time, saying, cursed be the man before the Lord that riseth up and buildeth the city Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof in his firstborn, and in his youngest son shall he set up the gates of it.
Watch this.
So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country.
You hear that? The Lord. Who you think is with us right now? The Lord. The Lord. But when you don't follow instructions, when you don't follow orders, guess what's going to happen? Something going to happen. Jump over to verse 7, chapter 7.
Chapter 7 and verse 1. But the children of Israel committed a trespass.
But the children of Israel, after all of that, the children of Israel still, did it say one person? It said the children of Israel committed a trespass against the Lord. Come on.
In the accursed thing. For Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took the accursed thing.
He took of the accursed thing. Read.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel.
It says, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. Read.
And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, on the east side of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, go up and view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai.
Watch this. Jump down to verse 11 right fast.
Verse 11. Israel had sinned.
So one person, out of one person taking up a cursed thing, he said, what? Israel have sinned. Read.
And they have also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen, and disassembled also, and they have put it even against their own stuff.
So he letting Joshua know that this happened. He letting them know what? He letting them know this happened. Read.
Therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies.
It says, therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies.
I can't imagine. It just died.
Okay.
Can they still see us? How we gonna do it right fast? Give us 1 minute, y'all. Give us 1 minute, Israel. Give me 1 minute, Israel. Give us 1 minute. One minute, Israel. One minute. Let's see it better. For yeah. Let me know when we back on. All right. Is it on? One minute, Israel. What we need to do. It should be right. Is it on? Turn the other way then. If it ain't going in that way, see if we go the other way. We ain't got no more batteries. Give us 1 minute, Israel. Can they still hear me?
Hey, put on the live comment if you can still hear. If you can still hear the class.
Can they still hear? Is it coming on? We ain't got no more. It's on. That's it. Okay, Israel. Can they still hear? They still can hear? Okay. We got it coming, Israel. All right. One minute, Israel. Don't go nowhere. Can y'all still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? Let me see. Oh, okay, y'all still can hear. All praises, all praises. We got it coming, Israel. We got it coming, Israel. I love Israel. All right, Israel, we trying to get this camera right, Israel. Let me see. Be patient with us, Israel. Gotta give us a little minute, Israel. I'm almost finished with class too. Be patient. Remember, be patient. I'm gonna read something right fast while we get it. Be patient with us, Israel. Sirach 2:14 says, "Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord visits you?" So don't lose patience. Have patience, Israel. Class almost over. We just got to get this this technology, man. I'm telling you, it ain't nothing but Satan. Satan think he finna stop something, but the word of God still finna go out. The word of God still finna go out, Israel. Satan thinking he stopping something. Satan, you ain't stopping nothing. Satan ain't stopping nothing, y'all. Satan ain't stopping nothing. The battery in there.
Get the battery is here. This is the SIM card now.
And see, can we get back on Israel?
Is it saying anything over there?
All right. You got it? All right, yeah, Israel. All right, we back on. All right, all praise, we back on. Turn that camera a little bit. All right, Israel. Woo! Satan trying to stop this. I ain't say you ain't gonna be able to stop this. The word gotta go out. We almost finished, Israel. We almost finished. Satan ain't no joke. He said, hell no. They talking about going to war. Go back to Joshua 7, start at 12.
The book of Joshua, chapter 7 and verse 12. Therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies.
So now, after one brother didn't follow order and instructions, it says Israel could not stand before their enemies. Read.
But turned their backs before their enemies.
But we turned our backs before our enemies, something that we didn't do, something we weren't known to do. Read.
Because they were accursed.
Because we was accursed. Why? All because of one brother. All because of one brother. Read.
Neither will I be with you anymore.
Do you hear the Most High? Read.
Except you destroy the accursed thing from amongst you.
Except you destroy the accursed thing from among you. So this just like saying what? Romans 16 and 17. It said put them out. So yes, Romans 16 and 17 means what it means. Read.
Verse 13. Up, sanctify the people and say, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow. For thus saith the Lord God of Israel, there's an accursed thing in the midst of thee, O Israel. Thou canst not stand before thine enemies until you take away the accursed thing from amongst you.
Until you take away the accursed thing from among you. Let's see who was the accursed. Jump down to 18.
Verse 18. And he brought his household, man by man, and Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was taken.
Judah. Judah, covetous Judah. Read.
And Joshua said unto Achan, my son.
He said, my son. Read.
Give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. And Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and thus have I done.
Watch this.
When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment.
A what? A Babylonish garment. Read.
And 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight. Then I coveted them.
He what?
I coveted them.
He says, I coveted them. I coveted them. That's in going back to Sirach 10 and 9. We gonna read. Watch this.
And took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth, in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it.
So it was the same thing the Most High was telling Joshua. It's in the midst. It's either. He says, and they put it even amongst their own stuff. So he was letting Joshua know exactly it was gonna be with his stuff, and he let him know it's hid up under my tent. Read.
So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua.
Watch this.
And unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold.
Watch this.
And his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tents, and all that he had. And they brought them unto the valley of Achor.
Watch this, read.
And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us?
He said, why have you troubled us? Read.
The Lord shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, after they had stoned them with the stone.
Do you hear that? But we can't do that. We can't do number what? Put you out. Can't do number put you out. But this what happen when you don't follow orders. You will get all this jacked the hell up. You will get all this jacked up when you don't follow orders. This man took a goodly Babylonian garment. You can imagine how bad our garments were, but you want a Babylonian garment. For real. So watch this. Go to I forgot to read. Go to Jeremiah 7 right fast. I forgot to read that one. 7 and 25. I forgot to read that one.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7 and verse 25.
Yeah.
Since the day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt unto this day, I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them.
That's what he doing. He just sent the prophets to Sierra Leone to do what? To go to war against spiritual wickedness, against all wicked imaginations, against everything that exalted itself above the knowledge of God. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Most High doing. He's sending us out daily. We ain't just out on the Sabbath. That's what brothers got to understand. We ain't just out on the Sabbath. We doing 365 again. 365, we going to war for 365 days. For who? For the nation of Israel. For the nation of Israel. Watch this. Let's go to 1 Maccabees 4 about Judas. About Judas. Maccabeus. Start at verse 1.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 1.
Watch this.
Then took Georgius 5,000 footmen.
Matter of fact, before we read that, go to Sirach 4 and 28, and then we're going to go to 1 Maccabees 2.
The book of Sirach, chapter 4 and verse 28. Strive for the truth unto death.
In order for you to strive unto the truth unto death, that meaning you going to do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to wake up the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Some of us going to have to lay down our life for the nation. We have to be ready when that day comes. We going to have to be ready when that day comes. But I know what I'm going to die for.
I ain't dying for crack cocaine. I ain't dying for pills. I ain't dying for none of these other BS that's out here in the world that our people love to covet after. I know one thing I'm going to die for, and that's the truth. And that's for my nation. Ain't too many brothers can say that. We got brothers out here dying for gangs. Sisters out here dying through prostitution. All of these different things. Drug game. Our people dying out here for no reason at all. No cause at all. But I know what I'm going to die for. I'm going to die for the word of God and for my nation. For real. So go to 1 Maccabees 2 and verse 50.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 50.
Watch this.
Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your father.
Do you hear that? Give your lives for the covenant of your father. This is our job. Our fathers gave their lives for the nation of Israel. The prophets gave their lives for the nation of Israel. And Christ, the black Messiah, our Lord and Savior, gave his life for the nation of Israel. So go from there to 1 Maccabees 4.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 1. Then took Georges 5,000 footmen and 1,000 of the best horsemen, and removed out of the camp by night, to the end.
Matter of fact, go to chapter 3, verse 1. Go to chapter 3, verse 1.
1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 1. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead.
So Judas rose up in the stead in Mattathias' stead. Read.
And all his brethren helped him.
Oh, all his brother what?
Helped him.
Do y'all hear that? His brethren helped him. His brethren helped him. Read.
And so did all they that held with his father.
It says, and all those that was with his father also. Read.
And they that fought with cheerfulness.
They fought with what?
Cheerfulness.
Fought with cheerfulness. Read.
The battle of Israel.
The battle of Israel. Went out there and fought with cheerfulness for the battle of Israel. Read.
So he got his people great honor. And put on a breastplate as a giant. And girt his warlike harness about him. And he made battles, protecting the host with his sword. He
says protecting the host with his sword. That is our job. Our job is to continue to protect the nation of Israel. Read.
In his acts, he was like a lion.
Do you hear that? In his acts, when he went out to war, in his acts, he was like a lion. Read.
And like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey.
It says, and like a lion's whelp, roaring on his prey. Read.
For he pursued the wicked.
He did what?
Pursued the wicked.
What you think we doing? Pursuing the wicked. Pursuing the wickedness that's amongst earth. We got the prophets traveling all the way to Sierra Leone to pursue the wickedness. Read.
And sought them out, and burnt up those that vexed his people.
Read.
Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him.
The wicked shrunk for the fear of Judas Maccabees. Read.
And all the workers of iniquity were troubled.
All the workers of iniquity was troubled. Read.
Because salvation prospered in his hand.
Because salvation prospered in Judas' hand. Read.
He grieved also many kings.
Do you hear that?
Many kings.
That's what we did when we go out there to war. You don't think we grieving the hell out of this so-called white man in the other nation when they see us going out there in large amount of numbers in these different expos? It's grieving the hell out the enemy. Read.
And made Jacob glad with his axe.
It says, and made Jacob glad with his axe. Come on.
And his memorial is blessed forever.
It says, and his memorial is going to be blessed forever. Come on.
Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them.
He says he went through the cities of Judah and destroying the ungodly out of them. Read.
And turning away wrath from Israel.
And he was turning away wrath from Israel, moving the ungodly up out the city. Read.
So that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth.
That's how y'all don't understand. That's how we gonna be the renowned men on earth. We gonna be the renowned men on earth. Judas' name is still on earth. His acts is still being read about to this day in 2019. Read.
And he received unto him such as were ready to perish. Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together in a great host out of Samaria to fight against Israel.
Now watch this, read.
Which thing, when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him. And so he smote him.
He smote him
and slew him. Many also fell down slain, but the rest fled.
But the rest did what?
Fled.
This when the wicked flee when no one pursuing. Read.
Wherefore Judas took their spoils.
Judas took their spoils and what else?
And Apollonius' sword also.
And he took his sword. Gangster. Read.
And therewith he fought all his life long. Now when Seron, a prince of the army of Syria, heard say that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and company of the faithful.
A company of the what?
Of the faithful.
That's what we need, a company of faithful men and brethren. When we're going after the war. We need that in our congregations. A company of faithful men. A company of faithful sisters. Read.
To go out with him to war. He said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom. For I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him who despise the king's commandment. So he made him ready to go up. And there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him and to be avenged of the children of Israel. And when he came near to the going up of Bethoron, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company.
So look, whenever Judas Maccabees went to war, he prospered. The war prospered in his hands. Why? Because his father taught him. His father taught them the importance of giving your lives for the covenant of your fathers. That's why. Read.
Verse 17. Who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude?
So there was what?
Faint-hearted.
They was faint-hearted. They was scared. Watch this. Read.
And so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day.
Watch this.
Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a
Do you hear that? In the hands of the Most High, when the Most High is with us, Judas said, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of few. We just read about that in Judges 7. Read.
And with the God of heaven, it is all one.
And with the God of heaven, it is all one. Read.
To deliver with a great multitude or a small company.
He said to deliver with a great multitude or with a small company. Come on.
For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host.
Do you hear that? The victory of the battle don't stand in the multitude of the host, but what?
But the strength cometh from heaven.
But the strength that we have is coming from heaven. Read.
They come against us in much pride and iniquity.
That's right now to this very day. They coming up against us in pride and iniquity. Read.
To destroy us.
To destroy us.
And our wives.
And our wives.
And children.
And children. How they going to do that with our children? Destroy them through education. How they destroying our wives? Giving them all the different things that they got, government assistance, Section 8, all these different things they try to destroy our wives with. Read.
And to spoil us.
And that's what they doing, to spoil the children of Israel. Read.
But we fight for our lives.
But we fight for our lives.
And our laws.
And our laws. Prepare for the war. Read.
Wherefore the Lord himself will overthrow them before our face.
The Lord himself gonna overthrow all the nations before our face. Read.
And as for you, be ye not afraid of them.
Be ye not afraid of them. Did you hear that? Don't be afraid. Don't be fearful-hearted. Read.
Now as soon as he had left off speaking, he leapt suddenly upon them. And so Seron and his host was overthrown before him. And they pursued them from the going down of Bethoron unto the plain, Wherefore were slain about 800 men of them.
Watch this.
And the residue fled unto the land of the Philistines.
Watch this.
Then began the fear of Judas and his brethren.
Then began the fear of Judas and his brethren. Read.
And an exceeding great dread to fall upon the nations.
It says, an exceedingly great dread to fall upon the nations round about them. Read.
In so much as his fame came into the king, and all nations talked of the battles of Judas.
Did you hear that? All of the nations was talking about the battles of Judas Maccabeus. Man, look, we preparing for war, and when you prepare for war, look, it's different things that things got to be set in order. You know what I'm saying? We're an organized nation, and we have things set in order. Last scripture, give me Sirach 10. Start at verse 1. And man, I had more scriptures because, man, the wars that we went, man, whoo-wee. King David, I ain't get to King David. I wanted to hear that. I wanted to read about the hammer today. Read Sirach 10 right fast.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 1.
Watch this, y'all.
A wise judge will instruct his people.
See, we have wise leadership, and they instruct us in wisdom and in learning and wisdom and instructions. Read.
And the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
Do you hear that? The government of a prudent man is well ordered. Yes, we are a government that is well ordered. We are an organized nation that is well ordered. Read.
As the judge of the people is himself.
As the judge of the people is himself. Read.
So are his officers.
So are his officers, the men that's up under him, and that's why we are an organized nation. Read.
And what manner of man is the ruler of the city is? Such are all they that dwell therein.
Watch this.
Verse 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people.
But an unwise king destroy his people. If we had a wicked leader that was in full-blown wickedness, why are we prospering so much? This how you know this thing is of the Lord. And we have righteous leadership. Read.
But the prudence of them which are in authority.
But through the prudence, the wisdom of them that are in authority, men of understanding. Read.
The city shall be inhabited.
And that's why all cities, almost every state, we almost got a school almost in every state. That's how the city is being inhabited. With who? With Israel united in Christ. And now we all were. We in different countries inhabiting those cities. Why? Because of great leadership. Just like Deacon Nathan said, you just can't just go pack and say, I'm finna go to Sierra Leone. The Spirit of the Lord got to be working with you. So look, Israel. Watch this. Read verse 4.
Verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord.
But the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. Read.
And in due time.
And in due time, read.
He will set over it one that is profitable.
He gonna set one over that is profitable. That's Jesus Christ. That's Jesus Christ. So with that, Israel, that's today's class. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the end. But the Most High came through, you know, and worked it out for us. You know what I'm saying? The Most High worked it out. And that's the last scripture I want. Let me see. Because I wanted to read 1 Samuel. We got time? I think I got time. Read 1 Samuel 16 and 30. Start at 33. About King David right fast. When he was getting ready for war against Goliath. And bro, I watched that movie too. David and Goliath, and I was pissed the hell off. 2 Edomites. 2 Edomites. I said, look at this. Goliath is clearly a Philistine, African. David, Israelite. Yeah. Man, look, I watched that. Man, look, it's crazy.
Which verse you want me to start at?
Start at verse 33. 16:33.
1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse.
Now, let me see. Yeah, hold up. Did I say 16 and 33? No, it's gonna be 16. No, it's gonna be 17 and
17 and 33, my bad.
Oh, yeah, that's where I'm at.
17 and 33, my bad.
1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 33. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war with his youth, from his youth. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him, and smote him.
So David was letting him know right then and there that he was what? He was ready. Right. I'm ready. I ain't scared. I ain't scared of this Philistine, this giant. He said, hey, I didn't kill the lion. Did he say he killed the what?
There came a lion and a bear.
A lion and a bear. And he did what?
Verse 35, and I went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him.
Read.
Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear.
Do you hear that? He said, I didn't slew that. I didn't kill the lion and the bear. What this? Read, watch this.
And this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them.
He gonna be just like one of them. Come on.
Seeing he had defied the armies of the living God.
Seeing he have defied the armor of the living God. Read.
David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion.
Who? The Lord. The Lord. That's how we walk victory against any one of our enemies. It was of the Lord. Read.
And out of the paw of the bear.
Hey, matter of fact, we got brothers in the camp in IUIC. Arkansas got a song I think called "Of the Lord." Read.
He will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine.
He gonna deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. Come on.
And Saul said unto David, go, and the Lord be with thee.
He said, go. Why? Because the Lord is with you. Who? What? The Lord be with us. Read.
And Saul armed David with his armor.
And Saul trying to get David prepared and ready for war. But watch King David.
And he put a helmet of brass upon his head.
A helmet of brass. Come on.
Also, he armed him with a coat of mail.
A coat of mail. Read.
And David girded his sword upon his armor. And he essayed to go, for he had not proved it. And David said unto Saul.
He said to Saul, read.
I cannot go with these.
He said, I can't wear all that. Read.
For I have not proved them. And David put them off.
He said, I have not proved them. David took all that off him, and watch this.
And he took his staff in his hand.
He took his staff in his hand.
And chose him 5 smooth stones.
And he chose him 5 smooth stones. Read.
Out of the brook. And put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip. And his sling was in his hand. And he drew near to the Philistine.
Now he drew near to the Philistine. Watch this. Read.
And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David. And the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him. For he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance.
So he said he was a youth, ruddy, and of a fair countenance. David was not white. David was not white.
Right.
Read.
And the Philistine said unto David, am I a dog that thou comest to me with staff?
He said, I'm a dog. You come to me with staff. You finna throw rocks at me, make me go fetch. Read.
And the Philistine cursed David.
He cursed David because of that. Read.
And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air and to the beasts of the field.
He said, you come up against me, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give your body he says, I'm going to give your flesh to the fowls of the earth and to the beasts of this earth. Read.
Then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword.
But here come King David. King David said, but look, you coming to me with a sword. Read.
And with a spear.
And with a spear. Read.
And with a shield.
And with a shield. Read.
But I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts.
But we coming in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. That's how we coming. That's why we give all glory and honor to the Most High God. Read.
The God of the armies of Israel.
The God of the armies of Israel.
Whom thou hast defied. this day will the Lord deliver thee into my hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcass of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel.
You know how you be at school, you see a little small guy, Muggsy Bogues height, and you got another guy, Shaq height. You knowing he finna pulverize him, but people, you gotta imagine what's going through the people's mind, and Muggsy Bogues is sitting there telling him, you know what I'm gonna do to you? I'm gonna take your sword, I'm gonna cut your head off with it. But in people's mind, they going like, nigga crazy. You finna get killed. You going against Goliath? But watch this, read.
And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear.
But not with sword and spear, but what?
For the battle is the Lord.
The battle is of the Lord. So one thing we got to do is keep the commandments. The battle is the Lord. Read.
And he will give you into our hands.
He's going to give you into our hands. Read.
And it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistines.
You hear that? He said he ready. He ready. He's ready. What we say, Israel, are you ready? King David was always ready. Read.
And David put his hand in his bag.
David put his hand in his bag.
And took this a stone.
He took one of them stones out that thing.
And slang it.
He slung it.
And smote the Philistine in his forehead.
And you got to imagine the power that King David had. But guess who did it? It was the Most High. That stone hit him so hard that he did what, Red?
That the stone sunk into his forehead.
Sunk into his forehead. You can't imagine that. You putting a rock in a slingshot. You letting it go and it sunk in. Read.
And he fell upon his face.
He fell on his face. The rock hit him so hard. Knocked him clean out. Read.
To the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with the sling and with the stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David.
He ain't had no sword. That's why they was looking at him like, sling, 5 stones, really? You can imagine how they was laughing. You can imagine how they were clowning the hell out of David. But watch this, read.
Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine.
He ran and stood upon him, read.
And took his sword.
Took his sword.
And drew it out of the shed thereof.
Took it out of his shed, read.
And slew him.
And he slew him, read.
And cut off his head therewith.
Cut his head off. He did the exact same thing he told him he was going to do. Read.
And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead.
When the Philistines saw their champion was dead, what happened?
They fled.
They what?
They fled.
They fled. They got scared. They got scared. They leader gone, now they scared. They don't know what to do. We ain't gonna play with them. Go to Sirach 47:4. I think it's Sirach 47:4, and they're gonna be it. Talking about King David. Show y'all when he was talking about. Start at 3.
The book of Sirach, chapter 47 and verse 3. He played with lions as with kids, and with bears as with lambs.
Do you hear that? It's bears as with lambs. He ain't play.
Slew he not a giant when he was yet but young?
Did he not slew a giant when he was yet but young? Read.
And did he not take away reproach from the people when he lifted up his hands with the stone and the sling and beat down the boasting?
Do you hear that?
Goliath?
He beat down the boasting of Goliath that day. Read.
For he called upon the Most High Lord, and he gave him strength in his right hand to slay the mighty warrior.
That's what we do. We call upon the name of the Lord. Read.
And set up the horn of his people. So the people honored him with 10,000 and praised him in the blessings of the Lord, and that he gave him a crown of glory.
Watch this, read.
For he destroyed the enemies on every side and brought to naught the Philistines, his adversaries, and break their horn in sunder unto this day.
Do you hear that, man? We was already ready. We always was ready for war. And when we went to war, we destroyed our enemies once we was keeping the commandments and the faith in Christ. The Most High work
works for us. So look, Israel, this class, preparing for war. We got to prepare for war. Oh, yeah, one more. Numbers 10 and 10. I forgot to read that one. I forgot to read Numbers 10 and 10, y'all. When we go out there with the war. There's one thing we got to do, too. That's what we do.
Back to no moon, too, so.
Start at verse 9.
The book of Numbers, chapter 10 and verse 9. And if ye go to war in your land.
That's what we doing now. Read.
Against the enemy that oppresses you.
Against the enemies that's oppressing us. Come on.
Then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpet. And ye shall be remembered before the Lord your God. And ye shall be saved from your enemies.
So look, that's what we do too. We blow up the trumpet before we go to war. You know what I'm saying? So look, Israel, this class today, hope y'all got something from it. All praise to the Most High for you brothers and sisters that came on.
Endure through the technical difficulties.
Yeah, endure. All praise y'all endure through the technical difficulties. The new moon is upon us. The Sabbath is upon us. You know what I'm saying? Prepare. The new moon is upon us, y'all. The new moon is the full moon, and it's tonight. So look, Israel, all praise for you brothers and sisters that made it on. I hope y'all have a prosperous, the rest of a prosperous day. You know what I'm saying? Endure, don't let Satan come. Because you know what I'm saying? Don't let Satan come in and attack you. Don't let Satan come in and overtake you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. This class right there, Israel. Shalom, Most High Christ bless y'all.